Welcome, everybody, to a post-game podcast of Game 3 of Round 2 against the Phoenix Suns versus the Denver Nuggets. And we're just coming off of a master class from Devin Booker. 47 points tonight. Let me pull up the box score here. 47 points tonight, 20 at 25 from the field, which is insane. Took his only two free throws at the end of the game when it came down to stopping the clock. 5 of 8 from the field, 6 defensive rebounds. That's all of his rebounds. He had 1 block. Dude was absolutely phenomenal tonight. He carried once again. Kevin Durant with sort of a bad shooting night. He still scored 39. He kept on driving the ball to the hoop, creating contact, getting to the line. Outside from the shooting, he was great on defense. He was great on the boards. He had 2 blocks. He's a plus 11 tonight. 14 to 16 from the free throw line. He was stellar outside of just his shooting performance. And there's just a lot to talk about in this game. But if you haven't already, if this is your first time here on the He's on Fire podcast, please like and subscribe and comment. It is a little later right now, like in the night. It's currently 11:03. Suns Jam Sessions going. The Timeline podcast is getting, they're recording theirs currently. So, come back tomorrow or in the morning, and we can definitely break it down. Westville, what's going on, man? Good win. Booker was incredible. Yeah, I think we're at the point with Devin Booker, and I think everyone can agree that he's probably the best Phoenix Sun of all time. And, I mean, that was just on full display tonight. Not one miss comes to mind that he had tonight. I really can't think of when he missed a shot because he was just hitting so many. But dude was incredible. I've never seen a performance like that. It's just in a long time, especially in a Phoenix Suns jersey. But yeah, we have a lot to break down. The stakes were high. The success rate of being down 3-0 is like little to none. So tonight was a must win for the Phoenix Suns. But we were back at home. Our backs were against the wall. And Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and the rest of the Phoenix Suns needed to make a statement tonight, and they absolutely did that. Let's just start with the starting 5. Campaign ended up inserting himself in place of Chris Paul because he pulled his groin in the last game. Campaign was stellar tonight. He did exactly what he needed to. He pushed the pace. He had 7 points tonight. Let me pull Kevin Payne real quick. So he played 30 minutes. He was 3 of 9, not the best, 1 of 5 from 3. But the 1 3 he did hit was huge. We were on a run. But yeah, 6 of 6. He was plus 3 from the field, great, and he had 1 steal. His defense was really solid tonight when he was on Jamal Murray or on KCP. Just any of those guards, Campaign was always in front of him and very handsy. So he had a really, really good night tonight. Then the rest of the starting 5, we'll talk about Aiden a little later on, but Okogie also started tonight, 1 of 2. We didn't really see much of Okogie tonight. Yeah, only 10 minutes. I'm just going to go ahead and bring up what I got on the screen here. So Okogie, we didn't see much of tonight, -8 from the field. Not his best performance, but he wasn't a negative. He just wasn't. Then we saw a lot of Landry Shamet tonight. He did get cooked in that third quarter. Don't get me wrong. He was the first guy off the bench. But I got to say he was solid for a Shamet performance. I mean, yeah, he had, those 2 buckets. Besides that third quarter, he wasn't getting matchup punted by Jamal Murray for majority of that game, which is definitely at fault of the Nuggets for not taking advantage of that, considering how long Landry Shamet played. He played 25 minutes. So, man. So, DeAndre Ayton, I think everyone is going to I know Coach is on Suns Jam. I actually didn't know that until like before I hopped on, but I just thought we would get something out on our channel and stuff. You know that this is a pretty big win, so we're not getting swept, guys. But where was I at? Oh yeah, so DeAndre Ayton, he was absolutely atrocious tonight. He played soft. He wasn't engaged. He couldn't grab a rebound to save his life. He was getting pickpocketed. He was being targeted. Jokic was, dealing with him. And he showed visible frustration. You can see it all over Twitter. And it just was not a good look for him tonight. Sorry, my hair is really long. This was by far one of the worst DeAndre Ayton games I've watched, and he's been having a lot of those recently, and he needs to be better. I'm about on the ship of sending this dude off. I think we're going to, regardless. It just isn't working. He just does not fit in the system anymore. He's just not aggressive. He's not. He's just not doing what he's supposed to do. But Jock Landale, on the other hand, so DeAndre Ayton, he was 2 of 6. He had 9 boards, and he only had 4 points. Like, what the fuck? He played 26 minutes, whatever. You go to Jock, right? Oh, where's Jock? Okay, so he played 22 minutes. He was 3 of 3 from the field. He had 7 defensive boards. Then he had he had 2 big offensive rebounds. Great. Plus 10 from the field. The stat lines between Aiden and Jock are pretty similar, but it was night and day if you watched the game. Jock Landale came up, showed out, and had the game of his career probably. I have no fucking idea. But Jock Landale was great, and you couldn't have asked for any more from what Jock was doing. He was up in Jokic's grill. He was aggressive. He was grabbing boards. He was great on defense. He was good on switches. He was phenomenal tonight, and you could not ask for anything else. Is that sustainable? I don't know. And that's what scares me because DeAndre Ayton's playing like shit. There just isn't anything there. So we're going to be having some tough conversations when it gets closer to Sunday for Game 4 about what are we going to do in the center rotation. Are we going to decrease DA's minutes and split it between Jock and Biz possibly? Maybe run Biz in the non-Jokic minutes. I don't know. But DeAndre Ayton is playing himself out of the rotation. And we're going to see if Monty has some nuts when we get to Sunday. To talk about from Game 2 to Game 3, because we haven't talked this whole series. We did the series preview like a week and a half ago, and we just kept it as is. So Game 1 we got blown out, no question. We did not come with the energy. Game 2 was absolutely winnable. It just came down to bench production and not pushing the pace. And then with Chris going out, it kind of fucked up our whole flow. And Campaign just went out there cold, and he kept messed up a bunch of things. And we just didn't execute. And Game 2 was absolutely winnable, and it was in the palm of our hands. We're up 10, and things were clicking. And KD was still kind of shooting like shit, but I mean his defense was still pretty good. Game 3, absolute must win. Everyone knew this. Watch any NBA show today. They were saying the Suns absolutely have to win tonight. Most picked Denver to win tonight. If you're down 3-0, it's not looking good. So, uh, Suns came out, they won, executed to the highest degree. We had a 15-point lead going into halftime, which was crazy. Then we just fucking blew it when we started the second half. We started with Shamit and Shamit and Da. That third quarter was absolutely awful from those two. And Shamit was just getting targeted. I mean, like, I'm not even attacking him as like a person. It was just like Monty just left him out there on an island, just let him get cooked for like 5 minutes before he sent in Ross. But to talk about the changes Monty made, I did not think this motherfucker would actually do it. He probably has like a burner on Twitter, and he just finally just gave in. I hate that it took for us to go down 2-0 and CP getting hurt for us to actually change some shit around. That is way too late. Monty showed that he can make adjustments. And I'm so glad Ross and Warren and Jock showed up. And Campaign, too. They all showed up. I already talked about Campaign. He did exactly what he was supposed to tonight. He drove in the open lanes. He kicked it out. He was handsy on defense. Like, he was banging on all cylinders. When Ross came in, he had that midi, was a great tone setter. He had that 1-3 that was stellar. He did miss like two in the corner on opposite corners. And I think he missed like a wing one too. Hey, we just threw him out there. Dude gave us what, like 5 points? I believe. Yeah, 5 points, but he was a +8 from the field. His defense was actually pretty solid. And Denver, they play as slow as what we typically did in the regular season. And Ross was able to keep up, and Warren too. TJ Warren was great tonight. His help defense on Jokic was great. He was 1 of 2 from the three. Dude was a +20. 7 points, and he had 5, back to back. So TJ Warren came in, stepped up, played really good defense, played 26 minutes, and Ross only played 14. But dude, he was not shy of the moment. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. And there's your offensive production. 22 bench points. And we went from 4 and like 2 to 22. And everyone on Twitter, on all the Arizona sports radio stations, were saying, play Ross and Warren. Fucking do it. And he did it, and we fucking win the game. And we had 22 bench points that were huge. I think our bench unit still got outscored by Denver's. Probably. I have no idea. I'm not going to do the math. But our bench was solid tonight, man. I have no complaints there. They showed up and did exactly what they were supposed to do. I would still prefer Damian Lee over Shamit, but Shamit wasn't as big of a negative that I thought he would be. I mean, that third quarter was awful, but whatever. We are gonna have some conversations about DeAndre Ayton when it gets closer to Sunday. I'm eyeballing Jock. Maybe Baisley would be sort of nice to put in there because DeAndre Ayton, he's playing himself off the floor. It's just not looking good. It's not. And I'm going to give some justice to I'm going to give Monty a little credit here. I'm very negative, and like this does not clear him from just his horrendous decisions. And like previously, this doesn't excuse his lack of adjustments and how delayed they are. But like he came out with basically the same defensive plan from game 2, but he played the bench players that he should have from game one, and like he didn't put Kevin Durant in that fucking 3-and-D role. Like those two things were the biggest things, and it worked. And we went on a big ass run before halftime, and we were able to, even when the game tied up and Denver even took the lead at one point, we came back and built the lead on top of that. That's Phoenix Suns basketball right there. Oh shit. Evan?
Ah, there we go. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, dude, what's going on?
What is going down, man?
Yeah, I just saw you on Suns Jam.
Yep, on Suns Jam, hopping on over. I'm gonna spread the word on the socials that we're tapped in, locked in. Looks like we got Westville in here. Tried to
Yeah,
get everybody from the Suns Jam over. We already got a couple of viewers going up. What a
cool.
fucking weird game, though. I don't know where you're at with your analysis or what you're on, but I'm just gonna follow your lead.
Yeah, so I was basically talking about the right now when we built that 15-point lead going into halftime, and we were just banging on all cylinders. And the way that we came out to start the third quarter was that Chris Paul slow pace basketball that just put the Nuggets right back in, and they just abused it. And it was like Jokic went out in the first like 2 minutes of the third quarter, and they were still able to score. We weren't trading
We
buckets. We got
Yep,
caught
we
ball
stopped
watching.
attacking the rim. We just
Yeah,
stopped.
yeah. So, but again, like I was talking about, Monty had the finally fucking listened to us and played Ross, played Warren, and they played really good defense. Then
But then had the balls to be like, Okogie, Torrey Craig, 13 minutes.
yeah,
Shamit, 25.
like Okogie and Craig were great in the first quarter and a half. In the first half, like they were really good on defense. They were pretty good on the boards and stuff. I still would like to see a little more Okogie, but I don't know where those minutes would be added from.
Just no Shamit. Easy.
Just
Just
no
no
Shamit.
Shamit. There it
Yeah,
is.
I was also saying Shamit. He wasn't like I hate attacking a guy because it's not Shamit's fault. It's Monty's trust in Shamit that makes him look
Yes.
like the worst fucking player ever. That third quarter, he should not have been in at all. Every other quarter, he was fine. And
You know, I did like his. I felt like he played harder tonight. I felt
yeah,
like his feet were quicker, and he was getting to his spots, and he was challenging a little bit better.
yeah,
But Landry Shamit is the number 12 or 11 dude on a bench that should only be playing playoff rotation minutes when a guy goes out for
yeah,
injury or has foul issues or it's garbage time. That's Landry Shamit to me.
yeah. No, totally agree. Um, I went on my rant and stuff. I can only imagine what you said on Sun's Jam. Did you want to give like a brief synopsis of what transpired through your eyes with Game 3?
We just played with a lot more pace. And we obviously attacked the defense more. I thought we were able to get some great rebounds towards the end, thanks to Jock Landell. I thought we were able to get timely stops that we haven't been able to get. And I think a lot of this is honestly due to just us being at home. Role players are a lot better when you play at home versus on the road. You can tell by our players, but also KCP, right? KCP went off those first two games.
Yeah.
Damn near invisible this game, right? He was
Mhm.
a sharp shooter. He was hitting him over there. Couldn't do a damn thing. But the pace was there. Everything that we needed was 100% there. We kept attacking. Devin Booker, Devin Booker used to get the ball, go ISO, and like hold the ball for 2, 3, 4 seconds, and he's looking and he's analyzing. Now
Right.
he's getting it, and he's just going to the open spot on the floor. People don't realize how easy basketball is. You don't have the ball, you don't know what to do. look at the floor and go to the open space. Go cut to that open space. Get the ball and go. Don't get the ball and wait and square up or anything like that. Get the ball, and sometimes if you're coming off a pick, you just keep going, or sometimes a guy overplays and you got to go the other way. You just go to where the space is. And Devin Booker has just mastered being double teamed on what to do. It's like he doesn't even see the double team anymore. In fact, he sees it where if they're coming this way and they're attacking, he's going to go back and attack the spots that they just left, which is what you want to do.
Exactly.
He's so good at it now. People have the balls to call him out on it just because they have some YouTube clip from what, 2016, 2015 from a summer league run, which is bullshit to begin with, because who the hell doubles in a YMCA? Nobody's doubling on any type of league like that. So it's BS if anybody brings that up to begin with. But he is so good at that, and he actually plays into it to the point where somebody does double team him. I'm like, we about to get an open look right now. We might not make it, but we're about to get an open look. So the pace was good. The defense was a lot better towards the end of the game. There were obviously quite a few open threes, but c'est la vie. That's life. You make some, you miss some. Suns don't shoot 40% last game. We shoot 45. We win, and we are all of a sudden up 2-1, right? Tonight we shot 50%. We won. Go figure. We still got out-rebounded by 10. They still had more field goal attempts than us, which to me is the barometer of this entire series. And we still pulled it out. And KD, for as ass as he's been playing and hasn't looked himself, still finds a way to get 39 points. The difference between KD and a different scorer in the league, if you were to bring in a dude like, I can't think of another scorer off the top of my head that's in KD's realm, honestly. Maybe Steph Curry to a point. You're not going to see KD affect the game in other ways that don't include scoring. That was one of the things as Suns fans that we didn't like about Devin Booker, right? Is that when he wasn't scoring, he's complaining, he's not playing D, he's not closing out, and you got to find a way to affect the game in other areas. And that's the thing about KD that we know he is going to do if he's shooting 2 for 11 or 11 for 19, right? He's going to affect the game in different ways. And that's what is so important about having him. So things went the way I kind of thought they were going to go. We were going to play faster. Welcome back, campaign fuck you threes. That was great to see that one. I feel like he's just on the verge of being able to explode for some sort of 16 to 22 point outburst.
Yeah.
The lineup situation was better. It wasn't where it needs to be, but it's better.
Way better.
It improved.
Yeah.
Right. But we still got to find a way to get Okogie and Craig. Craig needs to play 12 to 18 minutes, man. That's where he's at. You got to find a way to get him in there. And then you got to have Okogie getting in there. There's no reason Landry Shamet should be touching the floor. But one thing that John said as we were getting off of Suns Jam is if you're going to game 4, no matter what, no matter if Ayton comes in, no matter if Shamet comes in and you want to boom, like this is game 4, motherfuckers. Cheer them, go crazy for them. They don't need our negativity. They know how shitty they're playing. But man, we need to talk about DeAndre Ayton, the homie getting benched in the fourth quarter of the biggest game to an undersized white dude like myself that makes $2 million versus his $32 million salary.
Yeah.
Homie's got to go after this season, dude. You think Matt Ishbia is over there being like, I like this guy?
Yeah, probably not. And like, I always thought you gave him a little more like hate than like other centers, because I watch Bam and I get just as irritated. Like I like the whole center position in the NBA.
It's almost obsolete to a point.
Yeah, it's lost its charm through the last decade. I fully understand that. You're not touching Jokic and Embiid and what they can do. It's the gap between those two is like really close, and then the third is like big ass space. So the center position alone is pretty wonky, but DeAndre Ayton has progressively gotten worse through the last 2 months, of
2 years.
Season. Yeah,
ever since he didn't get his bag after the finals run.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like I don't think it's necessarily the motor. I just don't think he loves the game. That's just what's coming off to me as like he has his money. Good for him.
He didn't well, remember he started playing the game late, right?
Yeah.
Which means he didn't fall in love with the game from an early age. He didn't develop an organic passion for it, right? What
Right.
maybe it was pushed on him, or maybe he just did good in gym class when he was in 8th grade someday or something like that because he was a bigger dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's clear the passion ain't there for him to hustle and give a fuck. And that's what I've always said about him. I've always said that.
It
And
just,
and,
it
and
just hasn't been.
the
It just
reason why I've
hasn't
been
been
so
so
hard on him
prevalent.
though,
Like.
the reason why I'm so hard is because I know that he is the key to unlocking a championship.
Mhm.
And he's the number 1 seed, or the number 1 seed, excuse me, the number 1 pick. There's natural uh responsibility on your shoulders to be the franchise turner, you know what I mean? To turn the franchise upside down. There obviously there's all that stuff. But when he just wasn't doing the little things right, I don't know how many times I got to say DeAndre Ayton does not know how to roll off of a pick. People keep telling me this guy doesn't know how to do it. They're not passing to him. They're not doing this. They're not doing that. Homie wasn't able to posterize Jamal Murray tonight. I said this 3 years ago. Jamal Murray was pushing his ass out of the paint. This is the same Jamal Murray, and it happened again tonight. The same shit's happening. I don't want to be right, Jay. I don't want to be right about DeAndre Ayton. But I'm sorry. I specialized in scouting, in watching players and their tendencies and their habits and what they do. His footwork has never been there offensively. The thing that was his saving grace was he was never being able to be played off the court. But in the biggest game of the year, in year 5 or 6 of your contract, you got benched. Dude does not know how to play pick and roll. You have to roll into space and you have to look at your point guard and where his hole is to pass you the ball. And you have to go there. He lazily sets a pick, which is still a sturdy pick, I'll say that. And he rolls perpendicular to the guy and not to the basket. Whereas if he were to roll hard, that would give the point guard potentially 3 places to pass it to the guy that's coming up and hedging on him to the left and a bounce pass down. You could pass it around or you could pass it over. 9 times out of 10, a guy comes out and hedges. He's putting his hands up, right?
Mhm.
The guy that's helping off the pick is going to be coming over, right? And so you have a space right here and a space right here then. And DeAndre Ayton chooses to chill and hang out in the space where his defender just was, and he doesn't roll into the lane to create space. And I've been saying that for 3 or 4 years, and I'm fucking tired of saying it because people that don't know basketball think Chris Paul can't pass a basketball to him. Devin Booker can't pass a basketball to him. No, motherfucker does not know how to post up and post up with a body. He does not know how to do it. And I don't want this because I'm a Suns fan. Obviously, I'm a Devils fan and I fucking hate U of A. But taking that $100,000 to play there was a big sign of his character. That should have been a big red flag in my opinion. But, I digress. What do I know? We're just seeing the same things. And unfortunately, playoff Ayton, uh just that 2021 playoff run was a mirage, bro. What have you done for me lately?
Yeah, it came and went, and it's never been so prevalent through my lens because I see from a big man standpoint because I played big growing up and stuff. I
So did
watched
I, and I coached the bigs. That was my
yeah
job on every team that I've been to.
a lot of it for since Chris Paul came to the team. I always thought we were a little below average when it came to at least feeding him when he was posting up somebody. But I mean, you've brought up these points for like years now, even when you're on the last pod. Like, you've talked about
What a
this.
way to phrase that.
I know, right? So like you've talked about this for years at this point, and I've agreed, and I think both things can be right with Chris and Boog not trusting the interior pass to Da because one, his hands, two, he doesn't have the guy sealed off correctly, three, his positioning. So it's been
for his softness.
Yeah,
his just
softness
fucking
too.
softness, like that shit on that where he had the wide open dunk and he tried to lay it in.
That was
that shit.
Yeah.
Holy hell, dude.
Oh, someone posted Amari Stoudemire like a GIF, and someone was saying, like, imagine if we had Amari on this team. Like, but
man,
dude, yeah.
Okay, a hypothetical. Could Booker and Amari be better than Nash and Amari?
I think so. Yeah.
That's fucking crazy to think about.
Yeah. Amari would get his. I mean, like, he wouldn't like get like the crazy assists like Nash would do. Like, Nash was just a magician when it came to getting the ball to Amari, but like Amari would bitch like any center like in today's league.
What's crazy is how good Ricky Rubio was with DeAndre Ayton.
Right? Yeah. Rubio
maybe
was
it's just
great with finding him.
Maybe he was just young and dumb or something, or they knew like they weren't gonna win, so he was just going out and playing. Like I don't know what it was. He just seemed to be.
Maybe he was just hungry to get that second contract, like he said.
Yeah, maybe he's got the second contract now and he doesn't give a fuck, or because he didn't get the bag after the finals run, he's still pissed off. But whatever the reason is, I'm tired of hearing about DeAndre Ayton and Ayton stands telling me to kill myself.
Yeah,
like I feel vindicated and I feel sick to my stomach for being vindicated for this all at the same time.
It fucking sucks because he's on our team, and then like when I like back him up because when people talk about like Cat and Bam being better than him, I'm like what's your criteria?
Those are
Cat has a million flaws, Bam has a million flaws, and Da is just as bad as
that. That's
two.
like the Office gif with Pam where it says that's the same picture.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like what is your preference? And everyone prefers offense and shit, so they're gonna pick Cat every time. But when Cat, yeah, it's like, yeah, like pick your fucking poison. I mean, it doesn't really get better unless if you have Jokic or Embiid. So
I am completely convinced that if we were to trade Ayton for like Siakam or a legitimate four, like a Tobias Harris type of player. I'm not saying him, but just like some sort of player at the four. I fully believe we could sign Brook Lopez or Mason Plumlee, and we would be just fine at the five. Because what you said,
I'm eyeing Brook.
What you said, I mean, fuck, sign both of them. I don't give a shit. What you said, where the position has lost its luster. I forget your exact verbiage. You're exactly right. I mean, the last few championships. I mean, Kevon Looney last year, right? Was it not? It wasn't Valen. It was Mark Gasol with the Raptors when they won, right?
Yeah.
And who was the center for the Lakers? It was pretty much Anthony Davis or Mark Gasol, right? The center position is not what it was. I'd really honestly like to get a center that could space the floor. Give me an Al Horford type of center or something like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'd love a 3-and-D center. Holy shit. How dope would that be? A guy that can spread the floor. You can let KD and Book cook.
Yeah, Siakam, if you want to do that. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I fully believe we could get a Plumlee or something like, or trade for like, I mean, my trade target would be like Wendell Carter or something from the Magic.
I like Wendell. Wendell's
24 years old still. Right. Looks like he wants to hustle and go hard. Like, give me a player like that. Or motherfucker that was on the Spurs, went to University of Utah, got traded to the Raptors. Pirtle. Like a Jakob Pirtle. Like I fully believe we could get that guy signed busy and maybe Jock again, and we do it by committee, and we would be just fine.
No, totally agree. And it just gets to the point now with DA. It's like we don't need like his skill set, and he just doesn't fit on this team anymore when Kevin Durant and Book are on the team, and this is even excluding Chris. Like the mid-range mafia is really good in theory, but Chris doesn't have it anymore. And what we just needed from DA was to get boards and play stellar defense. We did not need scoring from him at all, and he just isn't contributing like at all to at, at least the rebounding aspect or at least the defense. Like everything is off, and I hate to see it because he's a homegrown kid. He's from out here. Like he went to a local university here. He got drafted by a fucking the same state team.
He
Like
got drafted by Robert Sarver, a U of A
yeah,
alum.
yeah. So it like it blows. It really does. And then people are gonna keep on throwing Luca in our fucking face. I feel like I would have hated Luca too if we drafted him and stuff. I
I mean,
wasn't
we
a fan
probably
of
wouldn't
that.
have gotten KD. We wouldn't have gotten
Yeah,
McHale and Cam, right? Like,
yeah,
maybe one of these dudes would have. I bet you Booker would have wanted out. He'd have been like, "Fuck playing with Luca."
yeah. So it blows, but I mean, if we can flip him for like Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, that'd be cool. But yeah, I don't know, dude. Da is definitely gone after this year, but Jock was sensational in the minutes that he was on the floor. You couldn't
He
have
gave a
asked for
shit.
yeah, you couldn't have asked for anything more from Jock. I mean, he was up in Jokic's grill. He was really handsy. He
So,
established it right away.
yep.
So the refs, they're like, I'm not going to call it because I mean, I guess that's just how he plays defense, and that's exactly what the Clippers did to KD. So Jock stepped on the floor, fucking got at Jokic's grill, and just made him flustered. It made Jokic look like an average Joe the last like 3 minutes of the game.
So Suns Jam Session does this. I'm sure you're aware. They do a subreddit stakeout where they
Yeah,
check the subreddit of the other team and whatnot.
yeah,
And John read a bunch of them off, and he was saying like, "Oh, great, Jock Landale's back in. That means Jokic isn't going to score again." It's like, is it bad that I hate or that I like Jock Landale? He's sneaky good, and there's all these comments about how he's bodying up on Jokic.
yeah,
So it's I don't look, man. If I was the coach, I would bench DeAndre Ayton.
yeah,
I would not start him the next game. I would play him. You have to. You got to give him a chance to come back and get some flowers. I would start. I would probably just start Busy, just to keep the flow of having a legitimate big man out there, and then maybe 2 or 3 minutes in, you sub in Jock Landale at that point because I don't think Jock can play like 35 minutes or whatever.
yeah. No,
But I, man, I would bench DeAndre Ayton's ass and send a fucking message.
mm-hmm. I wouldn't be that drastic. Like,
Nah, man, this is game 4.
yeah, I
Nah,
know.
fuck that. Game
No, this is
4.
what I would do. Like, I would play Da 2 minutes to start, take him out, and just what Da averages like 30 minutes a game. It just starts splitting it between Biz and Jock, more in favor of Jock, because I'm over the Da minutes. I'm over the Shaman minutes. We need to start bringing those down if we're gonna have a dog in this fight, because we should have won game 2, but just nobody showed up in the fourth quarter.
Nobody wanted to rebound that game either.
Yeah, so we could be up 2-1 right now, which is insane, and no one's like talking about it. Like,
Do you know about the theory behind the one-handed rebound?
uh, like, no, I don't believe so.
So I said this on Suns Jam podcast, and I saw this out of Jokic. When you're rebounding a ball and you're boxing somebody out, right? You're putting your shoulders up, your elbows out, you're trying to box the guy out. But what can tend to happen with a bigger guy is might get pushed down a little bit, and all of a sudden the ball goes over you. You don't have your center of balance. You can't jump up and get it, and you lose the offensive rebound. The one-handed rebound, when you're dealing with somebody that's bigger, take your forearm, guys coming into you, push him. You're pushing him back. You're pushing him back. You're pushing him back, and all of a sudden you got that guy leaning a little bit, or you're straight up, right? And now all of a sudden, if you can push it at the right time, you lean and you can go up and you can get that ball and cradle it. One-handed rebound.
Yeah.
And we saw Jock Landale do that quite a few. There's about 2 or 3 times specifically I saw it, and it was in tight quarters too. It was like right underneath the rim.
When Aaron Gordon and Jokic are right there, yeah, he did like the
and he got one-handed rebounds, and he did the correct thing, and it just pisses me off when Ayton just can't do something that elementary.
Mm.
Focus on the words that I just said there. Elementary.
Yeah.
That is freshman basketball shit that I teach. And I have yet to see him do a legitimate one-handed rebound this series. I've seen him do it before, but mostly because they're playing against the Pistons on a Wednesday night.
Right.
I don't know what happened to DA, bro.
The drop off is crazy.
I'll never forget Game 4, Western Conference Finals against the Clippers.
Yeah.
It was that really low scoring game, and DA went out and got like 17 points, but like 22 or 23 boards and quite a few offensive rebounds. And he won us that game with his defense. And you did not want to drive against him. He was tall, he was talented, he was a big dude. You didn't want to get a pick set by him because you were going to feel that in the morning. I don't know what the hell happened to him, man. It's just incredible.
Yeah.
His fall. I don't know what's a more incredible fall, DeAndre Ayton or DeAndre Ayton stands.
The stands have been kind of quiet recently. I don't know. The fall is a lot. It's dropping down fast, and it's almost plummeted at this point. I just don't know what to make of it, man. It's just like, what happened? You know, like, did Monty piss you off? Do you not like the game? Are you just getting worse?
I fully believe, like, I've thought about it before, but for some reason, you saying it clicked. Maybe you have more validity in my eyes than Ayton stands than Twitter people, but I think he 100% lacks the passion.
Yeah.
I think you nailed it. I don't think he loves the game enough to give up his body for it. He's not, and that's why it didn't work, man, because CP and Book, man, they're cut from the same cloth. They're going to talk each other to death, but they know it's all love because they want to win. Ayton, you do it to Ayton, and it's just, you got two dudes yelling at him all the time, and he's soft and he can't deal with it. So he goes and plays video games until 3 or 4 a.m. to escape it.
And
now,
you
I'm
look
generalizing. I'm not saying that's what he
Yeah.
does, and I don't know. That's just from what's come out in the media.
And like, you look at his physique, man. He is lean. He's fucking muscly. He can run the floor. He's strong. He's tall as fuck. Like, his U of A days, like, he was stellar. And it's just like, what happened? You know, is that Monty's system? Does he just not like love the game? It can be a lot of things. You know, it's just it sucks to see, because I really love DA. It's just like, we're at the point now. It's like you're unplayable, and I never thought we would get to this point with DA. You know,
I never thought he would be unplayable. I always thought there was things you could rely on with him.
Yeah,
that's the crazy part.
Yeah,
motherfucker got benched in the fourth quarter
for Jock
Landale, biggest game of the year, for a guy that makes $2 million versus 32.
Has like $50K guaranteed.
Man,
it's crazy, man. But like, we could go on all day about
fuck him. Can we talk about Book? Have you talked about Devin Booker?
Not a lot, actually. Like, I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
Dude is on another level. Extraordinary. There's tweets out there tonight of his playoff run replicating Michael Jordan numbers.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
We don't want to compare him, right? We don't want to compare him to Kobe. We don't want to compare him to Jordan. We didn't do it this time.
Yeah, no.
This was national media shit.
StatMuse did it. NBA Central did it.
ESPN did it.
ESPN did it. Like, what? Like, we're just spreading it around. That's all.
Look, man. Transcendent player.
Amazing.
Transcendent player. Big shot maker, big shot taker. Full blown 3-level scorer. Complete player. My only thing that I can say about him, and hopefully we won't find this out this playoffs and we run away with them. When there's 1 to 2 minutes left into a game, we're up or down by 1. Booker's decision making at that point tends to be askewed a little bit.
Yeah.
He gets stripped a couple times. That's the only thing I could say. Now at the end of the day, that's a big thing. That's a big thing. That's a win or a loss.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at the numbers he's putting up, he's the best Phoenix Suns player of all time.
Mm-hmm. He's going to break every record.
And he probably won't ever win an MVP.
Yeah.
Look, man, win or lose this series, this playoff run, we've got a lot of options on the table next year. We've talked about this quite a bit in group text, very little on the pod. But when this roster was constructed, we were all thinking about KD and are we going to trade Cam or Mikal or both? And then we just signed a bunch of $1-2 million players to round out the roster. We even got rid of Dwayne Washington Jr., traded Dario Saric, who would actually help this fucking series, by the way. Dario Saric would help. That's crazy to think.
Crazy.
Poor Darius Baisley, who's not even playing.
Yeah.
But then we were hamstrung by Robert Sarver with him getting outed and selling the team. Didn't want to take on all this capital. Hamstrung by the fact of the KD rumors, right? And next year is Landry Shamit's last year of guaranteed money. It's not guaranteed the year after, which ultimately makes it a 1-year contract, which ultimately makes a 1-year contract very valuable for a lot of tanking teams like Detroit, whoever it may be. And then you've got a guy like DeAndre Ayton who still has some value in some people's eyes. I mean, I can't think of another reason why Miles Turner would get a huge salary increase in the middle of fucking January of a losing season for the Indiana Pacers. Indiana's been linked to DeAndre 2 or 3 different times. That's just still weird to me, and I fully think that's the move we're going to make in the end game. And I'm okay with the Miles Turner, just not his tag. But moving forward, Damian Lillard saw Devin Booker in the first row tonight. People are retweeting. You got NBA stars retweeting right now what Devin Booker did. You have people responding to the ESPN StatMuse and all those tweets. Famous people about what Devin Booker is doing. He's in his prime, bro. He's going to be 26 when the season starts next year. 27 by the time it ends. Prime. We got an owner that wants money. We got an owner that's not committed to any player, which I think at this point is a good thing. He can be more objective and he's all about winning.
Yeah.
And we have an owner that doesn't give a shit about anything else but winning.
And he's active on Twitter. He sees what we're saying, dude. Like, he's jotting it down. He's putting it in his
But
drafts.
But regardless of what we do with Monty, and that's a different conversation. You don't see all these NBA stars are looking over at Devin Booker right now being like,
yeah,
I want to come play with you. All the free agents that are gonna be out there. Free agency is never going to be easier.
Mm-hmm.
Devin Booker is by far, he is pushing it. He might be the best athlete in Arizona sports history because he's going to bring players. Larry Fitzgerald wasn't going out there and bringing star players for free agency, bro. He brought Edgerrin James.
Mm-hmm.
I remember him recruiting him. Maybe that's the Cardinals organization fault. Maybe that's his fault. Larry didn't win us a trophy. Devin hasn't either, but Larry got us closer than we've ever been before. Randy Johnson was the most dominant in Arizona sports history. Motherfucker had like 4 Cy Youngs in 6 seasons, a perfect game, World Series, multiple MVPs. Like, yeah, he's probably the most dominant left-hander of all time.
Yeah.
He wasn't bringing in all these extra free agents, right? He wasn't talking about having a dynasty or any of that type of shit. Granted, it was Twitter. Maybe we just didn't hear about it. Devin Booker, on the other hand, just on the cover of 2K23, right? His shoe just coming out. I can't wait to cop a pair for $170. I'll totally do it for Book. He's the only I will not buy jerseys right now of players. bought 2 of his. He's the greatest athlete of all time in Arizona sports. And he's got time and room to grow. And players see it, the NBA sees it, and I'm really excited to this offseason. But first, we just got to handle and take care of business. And we can
Exactly.
beat the Nuggets, dude. We can. We should have beat them last game.
Yeah.
We can do it, and if we can get to a point where Chris Paul can then come back, just one game at a time, survive in advance, one game at a time. Nuggets fucked up. Nuggets should have won tonight.
Yeah.
No, I think Nuggets fucked up.
Yeah. And like no one talked about the end result of game 2. It was like, man, Jokic ate. He did his thing. Like
Triple double, 39 and whatever.
everybody else was ass, and Jokic did all this stuff. Like if the Suns can't capitalize off of that, it's nothing. It's like, dude, like we were ass on the offensive side of things. We like our defense was so good it made everybody else ass, and we just let Jokic eat basically. So we almost won game 2, and not a lot of people are talking about it. Going down 3-0 was not ideal whatsoever. I don't know the percentage of teams coming back from 3-0. I think it's
0%. It's never happened in the NBA.
Yeah, it's never happened.
Okay, and it didn't happen until baseball, until the Red Sox beat the Yankees, and I think it happened one other time since then.
Yeah.
So just like in professional sports, it's actually happened in hockey more times. Yeah. And I want to say it's like 5 or 6 times it's happened in hockey. So it doesn't happen.
Things just flip. Yeah. So, tonight was a must win. We absolutely handled it. Even when Kevin Durant was shooting like shit, he was impactful on the defensive end. He was grabbing boards. He was really good on switches. His leadership in general, he was great. As long as those two show up on a night-to-night basis, everyone's going to talk about Kevin Durant and Book need to score like 80 to beat the Nuggets by 10. And that's not like a solid game plan or whatever. Fine. But we just got 22 bench points from tonight compared to like 4 and 2, like the previous 2 games.
Yep.
From our bench. We're figuring things out. Monty should have had it figured out. Don't get me wrong.
And the longer the games go, I feel like the better this team will definitely be, because this is still only game 16 with Kevin Durant.
Right. So Campaign was great. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. I have no complaints about Campaign tonight. Like, we just got to keep this ball rolling. The more that we win, we don't have to force Chris to come back and be a liability. So if we continue rolling this ball, he can sit out. He can get rest. So the national media isn't bitching about Chris Paul playing like 40 minutes. We can keep him sidelined. He can get his groin intact. As long as Campaign is still banging on all cylinders and Book is doing his thing, and Kevin Durant is due for a good shooting night.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, so like he's due for one. So it could be game 4. It could be game 7. I don't know. But, we'll see. So
I just had a little bit of a moment.
Yeah.
I went on to an ESPN tweet, and it was tweeting about Jimmy Butler and tweeting about Devin Booker being transcendent players and the best 2 players in the NBA, and there wasn't a single bad thing to say about Devin Booker.
Yeah, I saw a lot of
that has never happened before.
Yeah, I saw like usual like Booker hater accounts be like, yeah, I can't even hate tonight. That dude was insane. What's with the Lakers fucking avatar? What is that? What's going on, Voida?
Freaking ASAP Sports Network and those douchebags over there that run it, putting up Lakers pictures on our stuff. What a bunch of assholes. Yeah, they took off my JJ Watt one too.
Black
dicks.
But dude, we would be up 2-1 right now if we handled business in game 2. But I one game at a time, like you said. A lot of promising things happened tonight. We went up 15. We blew a fucking lead. We came back and we won by 10.
So this whole week, I didn't think we were gonna win.
Yeah.
And then today, I pulled my groin today, and I'm hurting. Let me tell you about what happened in my day today.
Yeah, what happened to you?
So I got a business trip going to Kansas City on Monday.
Nice.
Okay. It is nice, except I got another trip to go to Toronto in July, and my passport was spelt wrong. So I had to send my passport and my birth certificate to the government so that I could prove that I am who I am, and they haven't sent it back to me yet. I'm rushing to get my dog out to an appointment and trying to get it into the car as fast as I can, and I'm always forgetting shit, and I had my hands full. I, for some reason, took my wallet and I put it on top of my car. Went back in the house, went back into my car, didn't grab my wallet, and didn't realize that I had lost my wallet till I got to the other place. So I called my wife up. I was like, I put my wallet on the top of my car. I drove off. This is the route I took. Fucking go find it. I'll be there in 20, 30 minutes. She ends up on a highway that I took and calls me and says, well, I found your social security card, and it was a paper. And I was like, shit. Well, she found the area that it's in. We spent 2.5 hours on the median of a highway that there's like a bunch of dirt and trash and shit in between both roads, walking back and forth, looking. Oh, there's a credit card. Oh, there's my voter registration card. Oh, there's this. Oh, here's my wallet all torn to shit. Every card is broken and busted up. And we spent 2.5 hours and we found every motherfucking card. We found my ID. We found the little flap with my insurance cards in it and everything. Thank God no cash was in there. But we literally took, and then during that time, something happened and I just pulled my groin a little bit. But the fact that I was able to find everything brought me a little bit of peace. And I was like, something's different about today. We're going to win. So I decided to do something different. I've worn Sun jerseys on all of our losses. I've worn no affiliated sport athletic wear on all of our wins this postseason. I watched it in the dark down here, and I'm a little superstitious now. So I'm not going to wear any Sun stuff when we play because we always seem to win too. But that was my day today. It was, I had one. The motherfucker died and I didn't charge it in the last week. And I knew I should have done it because I have one because I always lose my shit. And sure enough, I didn't charge it.
You have to charge air tags?
No, I have like a little, it looks like a credit card, but it's actually like a little GPS thing that can go off and, buzz and beep, but also tell you where it's at. And I have to charge that. But it's not like a thick air tag to put in your wallet. It's just like a little thin credit card thing. So that's what I had.
Oh, okay.
I didn't find that either, but that would have been busted as shit. 2023. That was an awful day today, but we found it and everything was fine. And that's when I knew that the Suns were going to win because that is a miracle going 75 miles per hour and it could have been anywhere. And we found it. And it blew everywhere and we found every piece. So something felt different today.
That is crazy.
I thought, it was a stupid day. What a stupid day. But then when I hurt my groin, I'm like, you know what? We've seen Campaign do this before. Like, I think it's going to be better. Like, we know what we have with Devin Booker. Kevin Durant still had 39 points. And the thing is, after game one, what nobody talks about is Aaron Gordon going off like he was a god in game one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was
right?
super. Yeah.
He doesn't go off in game one and we make a shot or two, we win. Right? Game two, like nothing that they are doing is catching anybody by surprise. Yeah, they have spacing. Yeah, they set picks. Yeah, they run off of each other. Yeah, Jokic has these ridiculous passes, but it's everything we've seen before. We still, and I wish I would have brought this up on Suns Jam, we still haven't seen the best of this year's Phoenix Suns, regardless of how bad Ayton has been.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy. We still haven't played our best game. And to your point, we haven't seen KD's best game either.
Yeah, exactly. I'm superstitious as well. I'm not going to say it, so I don't jinx it, but I did change some things around when I was watching the game and stuff, and it definitely worked from tip. There was definitely a mood switch when the game first started. So especially Booker scoring like 18 in the first quarter.
What's your biggest superstition when you're watching a game or about to watch a game, whether it's college pro football or Suns games? What's your biggest superstition? I got a weird one.
So I I have a tendency, like, when I'm watching a game where my phone is positioned, like it needs to be like a certain way. At dead balls, I drink like I drink like water and stuff. I get like a sip. Um, yeah, it's just little stuff. It's just like me doing it like in a pattern. It, it comes fluid and then it just feels right, you know. So I'm not like
Little
messing up.
OCD there with the sports mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm like moving stuff. I have my feet a certain way when I'm watching. You know, it's like a whole thing. So
My biggest one is in a close game, and I'm talking about, I don't know, a handful of points, anywhere from 4 to 8 minutes left. I'll either go on
yeah, that's a good one.
the ESPN app or on Twitter, because everybody's streaming shit now. I don't have cable. You're streaming on Sling or YouTube TV or whatever,
Right.
which is
Yeah.
usually like, I don't know, 30 to 40 seconds late. So you can usually be a play or two ahead of time on the ESPN Gamecast app
Yeah.
versus what you're seeing. So I'll look down, and if we're doing bad, I'll look down until I see something good happen, whether they miss or we get a 3-point or something like that, and then I'll watch the game. I don't know why I do that either, but it's like something's good gonna happen. Something's good gonna happen. If I'm not watching, something good's gonna happen. It happened. Now I can watch again. I don't know what it is. That's my weird little sports thing when I'm watching sports.
Yeah.
I like that eating ice.
Yeah. Eating ice is a good one. I'll keep that one in the memory bank. But yeah, I have my whole protocol and stuff. So, but I did change a few things around tonight. I think it did help you. You're welcome, Suns fans. But you know, with our powers combined, we can do a lot
We
together. So.
we all played our part. Hey, did you know that MPJ could get up like that?
Yeah, I did. And I used to watch a lot of his high school and college highlights and stuff. I knew he can get up there, but with the back surgeries, I didn't think he can really do it anymore like that. But that surprised me. He's definitely healthy, so that was pretty cool to see. I I hate that it was on, you know, like a Phoenix Suns player, especially like Kevin Durant. But God, like I love seeing posters, man. It like if you could sum up basketball in just one sort of play, a poster is what I'll take every time.
I'll take a game winner, I think, but then a
Yeah,
poster's
winner.
the next thing. Um, yeah, I didn't know he could get up like that. That was,
It was a
I
nasty
don't know.
one.
I'm trying to be, especially this year more. I'm trying to be more of a fan of the game than as opposed to just a Suns fan, right?
Yeah,
I'm trying to, like, I'll be honest, I'm not going to watch a second of the Lakers Warriors game unless I see on my phone there's 2 minutes left. It's a tie game in game 7. Like, I want to see that shit.
yeah.
I don't want to see either of those fucking squads, but I will turn on other teams and try to watch basketball more. So when things happen to my team more, like Kawhi going off, I actually try to not appreciate it because it sucks, but appreciate it for what it is, if that makes any sense.
Last year it was
So,
hard. I could not watch any playoff ball
and well,
after
that's what
losing
made
out.
me try to do it this year, was
Yeah,
because
yeah.
last year was so shit. I was like, I'm not feeling like this again. This is a fucking team. This is not real life either.
And considering the season that we had this season, it was like 3 seasons in one with like injuries and
Yeah.
mid-season trades and just how weird it was. And like I was able to appreciate watching these other games and stuff. Like I don't mind watching Boston. I was preying on the downfall in the Sacramento series for Golden State. You know, I was able to watch Mikhail and Cam do their thing against Philly. It was them two versus Philly. This is the first time in a long time I've been able to like sit down and enjoy watching other teams. There's nothing like playoff basketball, you know. So it's like last year it was rough. I could not watch it at all. But like I've been watching a lot more games. Like I watched the Philly Boston game tonight, and dude, Jason Tatum has such a luxury, dude. Like he cannot do anything for 3 quarters, and he can sit back. And Al Horford is hitting threes. Marcus Smart is playing good IQ basketball. Just Boston's just carrying, and James Harden's shooting like shit. Like he has nothing to worry about. And then when it comes to like the game is getting a little close in the last 2 minutes, he hits like a couple of daggers real quick to ice the game. Like he just sits back, and like Jaylen Brown does all the heavy lifting. Like he has such a
Yeah.
fucking luxury. They have no reason not to win it. But it's
Facts.
yeah.
Facts. I wanted to bring something up, and I had a question for you. Now I forget what it was because you went on such a good rant there.
Oh yeah. But thoughts for game 4? How are you feeling? Confidence level?
I mean, you feel better that you won one.
Right.
You would assume if Monty were to keep, this is the big X factor, does Monty keep the same lineup, right? Does he let
Right.
these guys start to develop a role and understand their expectations as opposed to, not knowing? It feels like that the role players are going to play an even bigger role going forward. I don't know if you can expect Katie and Book to both go off for 40 each night.
You
But
can't.
at the same time, do you put it past them? Hell no.
No.
The odds on that would probably be not too high because they can do it and they have done it before. But I think the role players who we've already said play better on their home court are going to get into a little bit more of a rhythm. I fully expect Campaign to be better. I bet you he gets 12 to 15 points. God, if Okogie and Craig could play at least 10 to 15 minutes, they're getting 5 to 8 points. I feel like TJ Warren is going to bust out for double figures. I think TJ Ross. God, everybody does that.
I know.
Now. Terrence
I keep on
Ross.
seeing TJ Ross.
I know. Terrence Ross, I feel like can go out and he's going to get 12 to 15 this next game. Like I feel like all these guys are like so close. It's just right there.
Didn't it
and I'm
feel
hoping so.
like the tides turned when Warren and Ross checked in?
Yes, it felt different.
It felt good.
Why? Because you have guys that understand spacing and basketball and concepts that have to do with their plays, like snap and all that shit.
Yeah.
Like they understand their role and what they're supposed to do. On top of that, you, Jason, as a fan of the Suns, you have way, way more confidence that TJ Warren or Terrence Ross are going to hit a 3 over Ish Wainwright.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. It's like I hate how it took us going down 0-2 and Chris Paul going down.
That's what I was going to ask.
These fucking guys. It's irritating as shit. And Monty's not safe regardless how the rest of the playoffs go, because we're going to be having some conversations like in the next month or so about.
Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Was it a good thing that the Phoenix Suns went down 0-2? Was this the best thing for them?
It's stupid to say, but it probably was. But this is a consistent thing with Monty, dude. It's so consistent. And
I don't even think
hate to give Randy credit, but he was fucking right, dude.
Yeah, Randy was fucking right. Give him his flowers. Randy was right. But I don't even think it was that. I think it was everything's been holding this team back, whether it's injuries at the end of the season, whether it's playing a really good defensive team in the Clippers and Ty Lue with all the adjustments and them just kind of still figuring things out. Like they had to have their backs against the wall so that they could move forward as fast as they possibly could.
Yeah.
It's like they've been trying to build something. Like every game we're trying to develop. We're still doing this. We're still doing that. Backs against the wall. You throw all that shit out and just go and play.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's what this team needed more than anything. They needed their back against the wall. I think it was a good thing. And it honestly, Devin Booker's been ousted twice in the playoffs. It was nice to see a game where, and to my mind, this is, you go down 3-0, you lose. It's nice to see Devin Booker push back in a time of need too, because he's always had his really good games when we've been up. But then you look at game 4 and game 5 in the finals. Was it game 5 or 5 and 6 when he had 40 plus points, but absolutely no help. Yeah. Right. But it's nice to see him do this in a winning effort.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
We've blown so many Devin Booker masterclasses through his whole career. And it's just good to see when we can actually close a game win in a convincing way, and Booker has his, him beating the top dog, the person that everybody talks about on social media. And I hate how this game is on a Friday because usually I would go and see what everybody's seeing on the NBA analyst sort of uh, perspective and shit because I want them to talk about like how stellar Booker is, but fucking it's the weekend,
Mm.
no one's working, so like we could totally get our like backs blown out on Sunday, and then it won't matter uh, going into game 5 and whatnot. So it's
Man, the start of that game, I think the first 5 minutes of that game are going to be so important. Like,
yeah,
you can't come out and have low confidence, guys not hitting shots, or the Nuggets going out and just crushing it and getting all their confidence up, right?
mhm.
Like, I don't want to I don't care if we're down, but we can't be getting blown out in the first quarter, man. We
Yeah,
can't
no,
be going down 34-18 or any of that shit, especially with no Chris Paul. At the same time, that is also backs against the wall, and maybe this is the way that this team needs to step up. I don't know. The good thing I'm seeing about Monty, and nobody's mentioned this before, and I also wish I would have mentioned this on Suns Jam. We can talk shit on Monty all we want, but we've been very, very good in game ones and first quarter specifically in the past playoffs, the past 2 years.
yeah,
We've lost game ones this year, but we're doing something different. We seem to be turning the game around and doing different things about the 6 to 7 minute mark in the second quarter, showing different looks, doing different offensive stuff. This game, we went all out and it was the same the whole time. We didn't really change a lot up except for that third quarter, which I don't understand. So I hope that's kind of on them. And that was a game planning thing where they wanted to try to work the mid range now and see how they would react as opposed to attack, which is what we did in the first half. So I feel like that was just a bad adjustment on their end. But Monty has been coming out, and this is what the Spurs used to do. Remember how the Suns would always go up against the Spurs in the first quarter? We're
yeah,
looking hot. You start the second quarter off, we're looking good. And then Spurs would just turn it, and all of a sudden we're only up like 4 or 5 points in the first half. And then by the end of the third quarter, we're down 5 or 6 points. But those 5 or 6 points seem like they're 12, 18 plus. And then we would lose by double digit points, right?
mhm.
Like, this is what Monty did last series. Nobody's talked about it. He's doing different in-game coaching stuff. No personnel aside, they're upping it. We were down by 15 or 16 in the Clippers in game 2 at 6:28. I remember it vividly. Somebody was at the free throw line. Chris Paul and Devin Booker looked at each other. They're like, "You want to go?" Yeah. And then boom, erase that 16-point deficit, and we were down by like 1 or 2 or 3 points at halftime. Like, what they are doing is tactically different. They're picking and choosing inside the game when they're going to attack more, when they're going to do different defenses. And we haven't done that in the past. It's been the same thing the whole game, which is what wore us down. By the third quarter, they know exactly what the fuck we're running, right? Look at the Buck series. They knew exactly what the fuck we were doing the entire time because Monty wasn't changing up. He's changing it up now. We're doing different stuff in the first quarter, first half of the second quarter, and we change it up going from the rest of the second quarter through the third and the fourth quarter. Today it backfired. Today he tried to get cute, and instead of attack in the third quarter, they went mid-range.
Yeah.
Didn't work. Then they went back to attacking, and they went back up. I will give Monty his flowers on that. Nobody else has noticed that.
That's
So
actually a good point. I haven't thought about that, and I haven't correlated because I just see him getting out coached by Willie Green or Ty Lue and fucking Mike Budenholzer.
this doesn't excuse his substitution
Yeah,
patterns. I said
yeah,
personnel aside, personnel included. Still, what the fuck are you doing?
yeah.
Tactically,
Lineups is still fucked up. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna keep an eye out on that in Game 4 just to see if I
It
can.
was different this game because they
Yeah,
played the same the entire way.
yeah,
And I think maybe that's how you do it with this Denver team because, as we've already stated, we're not seeing anything that's mind blowing from them other than the usual shit that they've done. And they kind of look like us. I think we might kind of be like the Bucks and go ahead and take the next game.
Yeah, like that is an interesting sort of way of thinking because if you give a little life to Denver in the third quarter, being up 15, and stuff starts working for them, and you're kind of intentionally letting it work, and you're trying to at least trade buckets with them, and it's not necessarily going your way, and they
And then
think,
and then fourth quarter comes and
yeah,
they think you're going to be doing one thing and you turn it back on and you go, 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 go. Like that's coaching.
yeah. In
That's
their mind,
coaching.
like how they like Denver started in the third quarter, that was working for them. So they're gonna like eventually go back to that in the fourth quarter, trying to close, even though we kind of just like
Yeah.
not necessarily let them, but we just changed it up a bit. We did start of the fourth. We did go back to what we were doing in the first half, and we closed the game. No comp there. So
That is coaching because if you do the same thing all four quarters, you catch on.
yeah,
You change it up, obviously it makes it harder. Again, personnel thing. Holy shit, Monty, what are you doing? But at the end of the day, he Monty did ride the hot hand. He kept jocking there.
yeah, he did.
He
He showed
did.
he showed balls tonight, dude. He benched Da. He played Jock in crucial minutes. He
Did DA
played
come
Ross
back
some
in
more.
after he got? He did not come back in, did he?
He came in at the 8 minute mark in the fourth, did all that dumb shit. Those like four straight possessions on both
2 minutes
ends.
later, he went back out,
Yeah,
right?
he went back out. Then Jock closed the last six.
And DA did not come back in after that point. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So
Our number one pick that got paid 32 mil got benched in the fourth quarter of the biggest game of the year.
yeah, what a time, dude. What a time.
So watch out for the coaching adjustments and just kind of pace and timing of the game. We'll be talking about that real quick before we get out of here. I'm getting tired.
Yes, yeah,
Um, you want to give some flowers to Monty Ossenfort?
yeah, dude. What the fuck? This like okay. It was
Best draft in Arizona Cardinals history since the draft that we got like Darnell Dockett and Carlos
yeah,
Dansby and all them dudes.
yeah, and yeah. Those guys were like diamonds in the rough. I mean, those classes that those guys were in were like loaded. So the fact that we got Darnell Doggett, one of my favorite Arizona players of all time, and Campbell, all that stuff was great. But
I love Carlos Dansby. Los was one of my favorite linebackers.
yeah, Dansby was.
I love
Yeah,
Los.
I need to get a Dansby jersey.
He left us 3 times, so I'm still bitter about that. He
Yeah,
was on our roster 3 separate fucking times and then left. I'm still bitter.
but picking up Paris Johnson uh, with acquiring picks was great. We needed to build the lines like you've been talking about, harping on since we started the pod. We need to fix the lines. Paris Johnson moves very well. We drafted his dad back in
He's just a
'99.
mauler.
Yeah, and a fellow Buckeye too. So I mean, with our new unis, the fucking Arizona Buckeyes.
The Arizona Buckeyes.
Yeah, but yeah, Paris Johnson was a great pickup. We got that stud from LSU, that tank.
Yo, I'm about to block Westville.
Dude, that's a war crime, dog.
It's after midnight. I'm sure he's. I don't know what time zone he is. It's after midnight wherever you are. So he could be inebriated, intoxicated a little bit, but
dude, okay. So what the Texans did, great for them. They got Stroud, they got Will Anderson. Good for them. But they're most likely going to be ass, and we're going to have like 2 picks next year. And if Kyler shits to bed, we have options. If we want to build our lines even stronger, or just wherever we're weakest, we can. It's crazy, like how we're set up the next couple years.
No matter what happens with Kyler Murray, next season is a good thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. He goes out there, he completely flops with a new coach, a QB coach, an actual scheme, an offensive coordinator, all that, and he flops, then we know, right? And we find out, okay, we got to move on. He goes out there and he starts week 1, throws 4,200 yards and 35 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Then we know he's that dude. So no matter what happens to Kyler, like this is going to be a good thing for the Arizona Cardinals moving forward. And
Yeah,
yeah, dude, build the lines, build them, build them, build them, build them. Still
and
don't know who the fuck our center is though.
yeah, I think we're gonna end up signing one. I'm guessing,
That's
or
what I've heard, but still hasn't happened.
yeah. I'm glad Hopkins is staying. I'm hoping Buddha still stays. But dude, yeah, I couldn't have been happier about the draft. Honestly, like we made our line stronger. Gannon and the defensive coordinator, I forget his name. What's his name?
I don't remember. They're new
Yeah,
dudes.
so
I don't remember.
he was very high on Majay Sanders and Cam Thomas. I fully expect those
Was
guys
he
to be good.
really? I did not know that.
Yeah, and them having Majay and Cam Thomas be part of the introductory stuff for the uniforms too. I think
Dope.
that also plays along with they're going to be getting good playing time because Cam Thomas is a dog, Majay is too, and the little spurts that fucking Vance Joseph played them in, they're really good. So we're going to see those guys filling in the
And
Zach Allen.
and don't forget when you're talking about edge rushers, BJ Ojolari,
Yeah,
our second round pick.
yeah,
I'm really high on him.
he's a stud. Yeah. And like it's going to be hard to fill in that Zach Allen void. That's kind of a rough blow, but
You
like
know what?
we'll take
I'm
what
over
you can
that
get.
one because he always got injured anyways.
Yeah,
And we couldn't for the position that we're in, we couldn't pay him what he
yeah,
wanted.
yeah, exactly. And he got his bread. He spent his time here. That's all you can ask for. He was definitely one of the you know the shining lights for the Cardinals in the last few years. So yeah, but shout out to Zach Allen. But I'm really looking forward to not only the season but the future for the Cardinals. Monty did his fucking thing, man, and I'm so happy. And then I like the uniforms. I like the white and black ones. The red one I did
Yeah.
not like at first, but the more that I see it, the more of the mocks I see on the players and stuff, I'm digging it more and more each day. I'm just
I'll,
hoping we switch the pants around and we get creative with it. But
I'll they're okay. I don't hate them.
yeah,
I don't hate them. The the Arizona looks a little bit big, and I feel like it should have been moved up on the jersey even
it's
more
pretty
instead of
close to the number. It's
yeah,
like
and that just
yeah,
it just looks and my OCD kind of goes crazy there.
yeah,
But I don't dislike them. They're nice little upgrades. I like the silver on the face mask. I like the bigger bird. I think the whites are pretty clean looking. I'm looking
yeah.
forward to seeing red on white and vice versa. Um, the Arizona is just kind of weird and a little on the tacky side with how big it is. But I mean, they're better than what we had, right? I think they are definitely better than what we had. So like, yeah,
We needed to
minor
be out of
upgrade.
that Reebok era. Like
Yeah.
we needed to be out of that, and I'm totally fine with these. And if these are just a placeholder for ones in the future, I'm totally cool with it.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean it's not a timeless look, but I mean it's kind of your typical football look, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
they didn't my problem is they didn't try to do anything bold, but if they did something bold, it probably would have come out shitty anyways. So
yeah,
here we are.
yeah.
I did think we were going to see the state flag somewhere on a uniform, like at least just the white one or something cool.
It has to be like a rule or
Whoops.
something, like because I think Baltimore did like a loophole and incorporating the flag in like their
Yeah.
logo, and they're kind of able to get away with it. There has to be a rule against it because I feel like we would have did it if that was an option because everyone was asking for the flag. But I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
C'est la vie. At least the Diamondbacks are dope this year.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah,
That's
that young
fun.
core is great, man.
We'll see what these rookie pitchers. Is it Hudson's on the mound tomorrow? Who the fuck's on the mound? I forget. Merrill Kelly killed it tonight, and
Yeah,
then you had Zach Gallen, the milkman, obviously doing his thing. Before that, if this offense can just keep it clicking and keep it rolling, all of a sudden you're good into June. Things happen, and maybe Ken Kendrick can become a buyer at the trade deadline and get another starting pitcher or whatever the hell else they want to do. And we could actually do some things. I've watched more Diamondbacks baseball this year than the past 5 seasons, probably.
They're 18-14, or right? They're like,
Yeah, in fact,
yeah.
I don't even know what the rest of the NL West did tonight because I was so focused on the Suns game. I haven't even looked.
Like they dropped that one guy. I'm spacing on his name. That
Madison Bumgarner,
yeah,
Mad
yeah,
Bum,
Bumgarner,
fucking
yeah,
finally.
yeah, and it was a mutual thing. He seemed to fully understand why, and since then the ball's been rolling with this team. I really like this young core, and hopefully we don't fall back into what we usually do. We develop
Yeah.
talent, then we trade them, and we don't do anything with it. So
Perdomo, dude, Perdomo, not only a
yeah,
damn good cigar, but this dude is, I think, batting like 398 right now, like
yeah,
something absolutely astronomical. Yeah, the Padres beat the Dodgers tonight, which is good for us because it gets us a little bit closer to getting back in first place, only a half game out. But nah, man, it's been cool to watch them. I can't wait to watch them tomorrow night.
yeah. I might actually end up watching it before the Canelo fight. So
And then tomorrow's a derby day, so
yeah,
go ahead and
sure.
make your bets. As I said, I'm going to Kansas City next on Monday for the week. I
Uh,
get to sports bet there, so I'm either very blessed or very unfortunate. I'll let you know on Friday what my winnings look like.
you gonna be on the Missouri side or the Kansas side?
Yep, Missouri side.
Missouri side. Oh, okay.
And then yeah, it's a Tommy not Hudson. It was Tommy Henry. He's on the mound tomorrow with a whopping 6.52 ERA. Big yikes. So that's the big question for me right now is where's the starting pitching gonna go?
We're watching the Canelo fight. It's one of the best boxers right now. You know.
I don't watch
Canelo
boxing
fighter.
anymore. I used to.
Yeah.
I used to love it. I really enjoyed it. Now I don't even know anybody now. I saw what's his name, little dude, try to pick a fight with Bernard Hopkins with B Hop. And I went. That's how far back I go. I was like, man, don't even try to mess with B Hop. He'll still wreck you. It's like messing with Ben Wallace now. Like, yeah,
All right.
dude's got gray hair everywhere, but he'll still wreck you.
Yeah. I saw
Horace
I saw
Grant.
Ben Wallace recently. He was doing like an interview. I'm like, dude, he's still a fucking unit. Like
Oh yeah, dude.
Ben Wallace, man. Oh, he was
Hey, I'll
great.
tell you what though. That that 04 Pistons team, I think would beat any team in this year's playoffs.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. That you even the Bad Boys era, and then the '04 Pistons, that 2 year stretch, the '02 to '04 Pistons, like those two Pistons teams can compete with, I think, in any era, with Chauncey,
Completely
with
agree.
Ben, with Rashid, like God, dude, yeah, the Pistons have had some
They've
phenomenal
had some
players.
really big lows, but then they have those dudes, and they had Grant Hill when he was looking like
Yeah,
Michael fucking Jordan. People
yeah,
forget how good Grant Hill was because they only remember him from like the Clippers and Suns days after injury,
hmm,
or they just see him being a mouthpiece on TNT or CBS or whatever fucking station he's with.
yeah, but
Lot of stuff going on. ASU baseball lost tonight. They had a chance to get into first place, and they just had to go and screw that up. I'm actually starting to listen to more Cardinals podcasts. I hadn't listened to a single podcast all off season. I didn't listen to a
yeah,
single fucking draft thing. I'm so, you know, Buda Baker wants to get traded or trade rumors swirling. DeAndre Hopkins, we let Byron Murphy go. All these bad things fucking happening. And then not really signing any legitimate free agents either. They just kind of feel like holes to fill until they develop guys. But then
right.
having a masterclass of a draft and
A's across
getting
the
so
board.
many,
Yeah,
getting so many picks for next year and that extra first rounder, holy shit,
yeah,
at a very, very high value. Um, D Hop coming back, Buddha probably now staying. Like now you're looking at this team like, dude, if they can be average on defense at like 15 to 18, average defensively, and not in the bottom 25 of fucking everything.
Uh,
I could see a 500 team here.
yeah, I can too.
That's what's crazy.
If we can get 6, 7 wins next year, I'm totally happy. Like
My max was my over under was 3.5.
3.5. Okay.
I mean, you get rid of Buddha, you get rid of Hop with all this shit.
Oh yeah, you're cooked. Yeah.
What are you looking at, right?
Yeah.
And now, and that wide receiver from Stanford too, that's like all about the quickness and getting separation.
Yeah.
You put him with, like, I can't wait to see what Rondale Moore does in the system, but Hollywood Brown and D Hop together with a
Mhm.
healthy Zach Ertz, like we've talked about that lineup, I don't even know how many times, and with a quarterback that I think is going to be healthy, that has a head coach, an offensive coordinator,
Yep.
a QB coach.
Yep.
He has instead of just Cliff fucking Kingsbury.
And you see a different like Kyler in the last like few weeks. You know, he's
I've
been
seen yes,
yeah.
yes,
It's yeah. So I'm
but
excited.
again,
I'm
def-
excited.
defense, like
Yeah.
they didn't pick up the option on Isaiah Simmons, which I think is a good thing. Play yourself into a contract.
Yeah.
We still have, arguably, in my opinion, one of the best safety tandems in
Mhm.
Jalen Thompson and Buddha, right?
Yep.
Um, one would expect Marco Wilson to maybe bump up a little bit on the depth chart, especially with a defensive coach that's really good with DBs. I love how they do not this group of coaching staff does not value off-ball linebackers. Like that's all Keim ever wanted to do was draft all these off-ball linebackers and do all this special weird shit that never worked. But there's absolutely no depth on the defensive line.
Yeah.
I mean, can you name a starter right now?
No, I have no idea. It's gonna
I
be
have no fucking idea either. So like either Gannon's going to legitimately play himself into a contract and coach of the year, and he's going to make a lot of these dudes that we don't know to be good. I mean, I guess we still have Rashard Lawrence, Lucky Fotu.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
hopefully
Yeah,
Rashard
Lawrence is
Lawrence
cool.
can
But
stay
too.
healthy.
Yeah.
Like that would, if Rashard Lawrence can stay healthy, he could be a linchpin down there. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Um, outside of those two dudes, I don't know any, but I don't know any DNs. I'm looking up their depth chart right now. I have no idea. As of right now, starter right defensive end is Jonathan Ledbetter.
Okay.
LJ Collier and Eric Banks are round out the second and third teams.
Oh yeah,
On the
Gaines. Yeah.
on the left side, as of right now, the left side defensive end starter in a base 4-3 defense is Zaven Collins. And I've heard that he's starting to rush a little bit more.
Yeah.
Backup is Myjai Sanders. Third is Cam Thomas. And then you got Rashard Lawrence, Lucky Fotu as your starting tackles. Manny Jones, Kevin Strong, Carlos Watkins, and Dante Stills are your round out the third team. I have no idea
I
who
have no
any of those
idea who those
fucking guys
are.
are. As of right now, our starting middle linebacker is Kaiser White. A little worried about that, but you know
Yeah.
what? He comes from that system, so maybe he's one of those dudes that's better than we think. Then Chris Barnes and Ezekiel Turner. Thank God Ezekiel Turner's third team. That's about time.
Yep.
Weak side linebacker is Isaiah Simmons, backed up by BJ Ojolari. Strong side linebacker, Dennis Gardeck, backup Victor DiMakeji. There's a lot of fucking question marks in that front seven.
Yeah.
Like everything is a question mark. Good God.
Hey.
Still got Antonio Hamilton. Still got Marco Wilson, Rashad Fenton that you signed. Then you got a guy, Garrett Williams, who they just drafted too. So like a little definitely better on the back end, but that front seven is ass, bro. So again, if we can be top 18, that's a win on that side of the ball.
For
On
sure.
the ground and in the air.
For sure. For sure.
Oh, yes. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah, it'd be awesome, but whatever's happening right now, I don't think would cause for him to sell. If that's what he's applying. Trust me, I want him to sell, but I don't think with this current situation that's gonna make him do that.
For the record, Paris Johnson is listed as our starting left guard,
Okay.
but that's take that for what it's worth.
Okay.
How are you feeling about our running backs? Having James Conner and Keontae Ingram, our dynamic 1-2 with Corey Clement as our number 3 starter.
I like Ingram. There's definitely other options out there. I know Bo Brock and Johnny. They were talking about Kareem Hunt possibly being a guy that we can target. Um,
I don't want Kareem Hunt wife or was it abuse or whatever it was that he did?
oh yeah, that's what they're gonna.
Domestic violence?
Yeah, something like that.
Nah, fuck him.
Uh, then DeAndre Hopkins posted a photo either today or yesterday, and he was with Saquon. I think Saquon is in for the long haul with the Giants and stuff. That was
Yeah.
just sort of interesting to see them two working out.
So Coda, basically what Bidwill did was using derogatory language, from my understanding, to an African American employee as well as a female employee that's pregnant. And there's been there was like what is it called? A survey given out to employees, and they were told how shitty he is and how everybody's afraid of him. And he stopped the survey after like reading a few votes, but they all said like he's a piece of shit. And it's just a whole bunch of workforce stuff. So they're doing an investigation on him. Wouldn't that be awesome if he got caught? I mean, I would feel bad for those people, but he got caught with some cyber shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, dude, like, what did Arizona do to get these fucking shitty ass owners? It's like
Ken
all three
Kendrick
sports.
included, bruh.
Yeah, it's crazy, but hey, I mean, shit, if you did it, man, sell the fucking team, dude. I know it's your dad's team, spend in your family, but dude, like, you're rich as shit. You don't need to own a team, dude.
Yeah, exactly, Coda. I mean, there was no goat with shit in McDonough's office, right? Nothing like that. But he clearly favored Steve Keim. Steve Keim got rid of Michael Floyd because of a DUI.
Yeah,
Happens to Steve Keim, fucking skates right through it. I still want to know what the fuck happened in Mexico with
yeah,
Sean Kugler and their
yeah,
offensive line coach that they excused right before the Mexico game, where Sean Kugler came out, or somebody said I don't think he went as far as he raped somebody, right? But he tried to molest somebody, or he tried to push himself on a woman. It was something along the lines of that. I don't remember. But Sean Kugler and Steve Keim look exactly the fuck alike.
yeah,
Exactly alike. And they let Sean Kugler go. 4, 5, 6 weeks later, Sean Kugler comes out and he's all like, "That wasn't me, man. That was Steve Keim."
yeah.
A day or two later, Steve Keim is reported to take a few steps away. Didn't even have the balls to fire. Bidwell didn't have the balls to fire Keim.
And
He
isn't
just
it
stepped away.
irritating that like Kime is like on like NFL programming talking about
And
like
now he's a fucking little podcast
yeah,
guru guy, right?
it's
And
yeah,
funny enough, and he's covering the draft.
yeah.
The man that didn't know how to draft. Fuck you, Steve Keim.
He loved every linebacker. Trust.
Jesus, what a useless human piece of garbage.
But yeah, I'm feeling good for game 4. I think we're on a high right now. We definitely can beat this Nuggets team. They're vulnerable.
With how good we're not playing, we can still beat them. That's what's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. And yeah, of course, like both our stars can't like drop. Our game plan can't be them scoring 80 points combined, but nothing's stopping them from doing that. So it's take it as you will. I was confident to start this series, and I have been, and I was fully anticipating the Nuggets looking like a number 1 seed. I don't know why it's such a bewildering thing that like the Nuggets have been playing good, or like the Suns don't look like how they should be, like because everyone has these highest expectations for whatever fucking reason. So
Yeah.
so I'm feeling really good for game 4. Is it a evening game?
5 o'clock Valley time.
Oh, nice early one. Yeah. With these 7 o'clock games, with it finishing at 10, kind of sucks. So
It helps me because then my kid goes down and I don't have to worry about him or nothing like that. I can just watch the game.
Right.
I wasn't confident at all. I knew that we could beat this team, but then Monty decides to play Ish Wainwright, Damian Lee, and Shamit,
Oh yeah.
and everything goes to shit.
Yeah.
And once that happens, it's like, you know what? You beat this team by playing Jock over Busy, which I called, by playing TJ Warren, Terrence Ross, and spreading the floor out, getting campaign in there, playing fast, and making sure that you rebound and guard the 3-point line. The only thing that I didn't have in there was attacking the paint and them attacking. I didn't have that as much.
Yeah.
That obviously is a huge success. I literally had everything else down. Like this stuff sometimes isn't that hard. And here's Monty, what is it? Paralysis by analysis.
Yeah.
So there you go. Should we get out of here?
Yeah.
It's 1:45 for me, baby.
12:42.
Let's do it. All right, y'all. Everybody like and hit this He's on Fire podcast. Yada 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 yada. Go Suns. Yada yada yada. But let's be positive on Sunday. Let's get another win.
For sure.
Go to 2-2.
Go Suns. Go Suns.